tram that intrigued you? Suddenly, what was it that clicked that whole interest?
I think basically because it was a fixed track, so therefore you always knew where a tram went because you could see the tram lines and the overhead wires heading off into the distance. And I think that's what started to fascinate me, that these trams went somewhere, and that sort of brought the interest up. And also too, at that stage Sydney was getting rid of its trams, so that basically as I was growing up, every 6 months a major section of the tramway network would close.
Now Ray, Gunzels is a theme that we've covered in the exhibition upstairs. You're an enthusiast yourself?
Yes, I'm more interested in the history of trams, the past history that I would like to find out more about. That's why I kept 4 scrapbooks, and that's like I finished photocopies from them.
A lot of your material is actually in that current exhibition because you've been sending me books from the Tramway Board, etc., Tramway Union magazines. So, you know, you've been an avid collector of anything that's been written up in the newspaper over the years, re-tramways?
Yes, I've also got 73 old Union magazines, starting from 1964, which I intend to give away, and probably some of them to you. Because there's no actually museum here, is there? There's no real...
This is one of the battles that we have at the moment. We're actually trying to get a museum up and running so we can house all of these great collections.
Do you like trams?
I do like tram, and because one thing, like I like driving, and this thing you drive, it's not like a car or buses that you have a steering wheel, but this one got no steering wheel. And so, you know, you either drive it, the old tram, they drive with hand, and the new tram, you drive with feet. And so your hand, you got to just only play, you know, on a button, pressing the gong and the door switch.
In San Francisco, they've got a line there that not just the cable cars, but they've got a line there. They've got 5 lines that have got the latest modern light rail vehicles on them. They've also got a line they've just built, a brand new line called the F line that operates heritage cars, not unlike our W's. In fact, one of our W's is running on that system now.
So it actually fits the gauge?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. And I was driving it in November.
Tell us some of the feedback you've had from people, international travellers maybe, or even local people, just about the idea of a tourism tram or the city circle trams?
Well, not just the tourism tram or city circle tram, but trams in themselves. Most of them say, what a wonderful transport system you've got. What an excellent transport system, and so cheap compared to other forms, and they are amazed.
On the whole, multiculturalism has been a success on the trams. We seem to have developed our own successful form of Australian multicultural English, and the cultural diversity is definitely a part of the boisterous life of the workforce. This is called A Few Bones Got Buried Last Night. Vietnamese were dancing with Nigerian, Chilean with Indonesian, Maori with Sri Lankan, Scots with Fijian. South Melbourne Depot were on the dance floor. A farewell dinner for those taking a package, their parting gifts, model trams made of wood, appropriate for the W, and made in Melbourne as the W class were, the Cadillacs of the tram world. The presentation was short and jocular whilst the crowd partied on, an unsentimental lot on the whole. This is an occupation with a high turnover, accidents frequent, humour black and cynical, where a long-term employee is regarded as a curious fossil. A high-stress job, dealing often with difficult passengers with no training but the sink or swim. No dealing with personal problems, but a lot of good times, laughing and joking with your mates. Because of the 6-day working weeks, ever-changing shift work and some with unhappy lives, more time is spent with your workmates than with your family. The depot was more family than family, a fractious family, which knows how to party and forget for a while the disputes between management and staff, gunzle and grunge, smokers and non-smokers, between people themselves, for the tramways foster strong personalities. A few bones got buried as they partied on, surprising who was dancing with whom. When armistice was announced on the Eastern Front in the First World War, German soldiers danced with Russia. Last night, half of the nations of the world were dancing, Irish with English, Dutch with German, Indian with Italian, Malaysian with Greek, Filipino with El Salvadoran, Russian with Australian born, on and on, into the night, with no regard that the first tram was running out at 6:41.